guess what? I was muted for all that. So,
So the audience didn't hear anything, right?
No, they know nothing about the fire.
Good. That secret fire, that's very
Yeah, but since I was muted for all that time, I would like to, welcome anybody watching on YouTube or whatnot to Hacking Infinity, the Eschaton, because I don't know, I've only been doing this for a couple of years, and apparently I have not yet gained core competency. I don't know. What this is about for anybody who hasn't seen it before is the Eschaton is a powered by the apocalypse hack that is set in a transhumanist future, in that people can hop from one body to another upon death, and as like a fashion statement. Um, and everybody has their own organization. It's kind of cool. I mean, including and up to and including planetary government, which a couple of people have.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a planet, but I wouldn't say I was a government.
Sure.
I have a boat, a space boat.
And a small army.
Very
yourself.
small. Yes, of me's.
Clone army, even.
Mhm.
So one thing I forgot to do in episode 1 was to have everybody pick a second flaw slash I'll probably change the terminology to challenge at near future.
Okay.
And,
Am I in?
I had
I thought I was in.
the map all set just so for Roll20, and then had to reload because it was not showing on my resource. Enjoy.
I'm going to pick childish as my second fault.
Interesting.
I'm gonna log on to the Roll20 thing again. During my Windows extravaganza, it closed it out. Think.
Friends.com, everywhere.com.
Jeff.com.
Settings.com.
It's a good internet. Internet's good all the time, and nothing is ever wrong with it.
Turnoffcamera.com.
Quiet.
Offcamera.com.
Worst websites ever.
Let's open 18 copies of them. Yeah?
No.
Okay. So, where
Redundant
is
information that slows everything down. .com.
there. It's under. Where are the tags? Is it
okay. So
organization descriptors?
You can find
No.
defaults on
Body
the
tags?
actually on the bio and info page of your characters.
Oh.
The bio and info has like a walkthrough for characters.
Ah, yes. Yes. Let's see.
So you know how on the character sheet you have like lists of things under the
I found
like
it.
organization. Yeah.
I was just reading.
I was talking mainly to to RP Glory.
Okay, sorry.
That's totally fine. You know how you have lists under things like organization tags and whatnot, organization descriptors, and you have lists under there? Maybe having a list of faults under faults
Yeah.
would be good too, since it
Would
seems
be.
like that list is maybe static.
Yeah, and small enough to fit there. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
That would be tasty.
yeah. I should have the session notes thing open anyway. But
Notes for later.
Yeah.
Aha.
Um, okay. So, has everybody picked a second one?
I am self-loathing and masochistic.
Nice.
I think I'm idealistic and overprotective.
Also very fitting.
I see that.
Yeah.
We all nodded. We all nodded.
Mhm.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm just kidding. The paranoid one.
Not paranoid, yes. Let me see, was there anything else that I wanted to touch on before we jumped in? Oh yeah, we interesting opening scene with Erethin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I suppose
Oops.
we should go ahead and roll the scene open
The beginning of session.
beginning
moves.
session rolls. Now, Quasi, yours was kind of gnarly because last session your obligation got activated. And normally the effect of that would be that if you hadn't completed a long-term project specifically to address the needs of your people by the end of the session, you would get screwed over hard. But since there was just there was no way you could have done it. Like you had like
No.
one scene. Long-term project can't be done in one scene. I think the way I'm gonna handle it is that yes, the negative effect is gonna kick in for this session, but it's gonna be temporary, unless by the end of this session, it still hasn't been resolved.
Cool. Yeah. So it's like still active, basically.
And while we're at it, why don't you give me a troop commander role, and we'll see how they're feeling right now.
Another one.
Yes.
There's people working in your organization to undermine you. That must be awful. It's something I know nothing about.
Okay.
That's a miss, Brad.
Yeah. So I think rather than, I'll just keep it active. I won't apply it a second time, which would be really gnarly.
You could just bump it up a bit.
But yeah, it's
It's a bad roll.
In real life, I'd have nailed that roll. I was really feeling it. The wrist action had been crisp, and I was boom,
Yeah.
I'd have nailed it in real life.
That's the thing with digital; it takes it out of your hands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Roll20 is mean.
Yeah. I have they're like a warlock, but the Aasimar, and they have a thing called Eldritch Blast. I don't know if you know about it. They can't hit anything ever.
It's a rule.
I'll go like entire 2-hour fights, and I'll hit one thing with advantage because of my little buddy, and it's breaks your heart, breaks your heart.
D&D.
Rule wrong.
I
D20s.
don't like Dungeons and Dragons.
That's okay. You can have your own opinions.
You need to play 5e. I haven't actually gotten to play 5e yet.
We should talk.
Yeah.
It's still,
It's,
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
in some ways, it's
I know.
the best Dungeons and Dragons that's been made, in that it has a really nice balance between simplifying things and not and like keeping the full feel of the game.
Yeah.
Um,
I rarely have fights that last like the hours and hours that other people do.
Mm-hmm.
I play like D&D Light, which I know some people really disapprove of.
yeah, that's just wrong. No.
I care literally not at all. Sounds good.
Nice.
Okay, shall I roll World Ruler, or shall we start talking about how that troop commander miss manifests?
I think that we'll go ahead. I think that we'll work out how that missed roll works out in play after the opening scene. So once again, Alaska, your citizens are happy and scientifically curious, and yeah,
They appreciate art.
they appreciate it.
So,
I have made a thing. Might be horribly radioactive, but it's a piece of art. It's a thing.
if you're not suffering for it, it's not art. I can't believe I haven't said that before.
I'm surprised too. Jesus.
I'm so disappointed in myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really good.
It's amazing.
That's not true. You shouldn't always suffer for your art, kids.
No, it's
That's not a true thing. That was a joke thing, because it's bad.
Don't listen to them. It makes you stronger.
It makes it more authentic. No! Stop it.
Bird collective nouns.
But I mean, if it's part of your process, then feel free to suffer.
No, it's part of your process. It's unhealthy.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
Unless you're practicing self-care afterwards.
Sure. So, let's see. Marathon, you were sending,
I was about to, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was about to, on Alaska's planet, they have a particular terraformer that I would like to use because my planet is currently overrun with rampant, strange temperatures and terrible creatures and plants. So I thought if I could affect that, and I've been trying for decades to get this done. But when you're dealing with artists, you have to deal with them delicately. And sometimes it's frustrating. But I finally got them to agree. And they're like, sure, you can take it when you leave. I had no way of transporting it when I left with my little squadron of me's people. They're not quite me's. It's complicated. Anyways. And I had to get someone in the neighborhood who had a big ship. And the person who had a big ship is our good friends at Capstone.
Yeah.
Who are definitely good and not shady or capitalist. So I was going to go meet with them. And the person I was going to meet with is one of their they call them figureheads, but they're more like stereotype friend models. And the one I was going to see was the friendly kid one.
Yes.
Yeah. Who is Jacqueline Danvers?
Yes.
And I was gonna get one of their big ships that they had. I don't know if it was a cruise or a freighter ship or something, because it was close by at Alaska's planet. So I was gonna go try to talk to them into giving me access to that ship.
And you were just sending 2 people from the delegation that was already on Lab.
Already
right?
on the planet. So
Okay.
yeah, I was leaving 4 on planet. So they're still technically on the planet. They haven't left yet. And then 2 of them went up to the ship that was nearby to negotiate.
Okay.
And they're like great negotiators because they were already like loaded up with the right memory sequences to deal with other people that they may have had to interact with, whoever those might be.
So, and I'm assuming that you're just like catching a shuttle of some sort up.
Yeah, I figured I had my own like transport ship just for those guys.
Okay.
And then they had like a little scooter going back and forth. Yeah. So I don't have a big fleet, or I can't move all my people, but
yeah. But you do have some ships.
Scooting around.
Yes.
Scooting around.
Totally. So you get clearance for their landing bay, and as you approach their ship and get within visual range, it is well, first off, the first thing you notice is that it's huge. It's certainly large enough to transport the gigantic terraforming machinery. It also the design of the ship sort of makes a statement. It's very sleek, even though it's definitely meant for just well, actually, no. I guess it is meant for atmospheric landing. So it has it's very sleek and aerodynamic, even though it's like hanging there in space.
I have a question. Does it look perhaps like a colony ship of some kind? Is that like can I ascertain its original purpose or its primary purpose?
I think from initial viewing, not really. I mean, yes, it's like large enough to serve as a colony ship, but it looks more like the just the way it's the sleekness of its design, and some of the it's got like sort of the sexy curves you see in a sports car, so it's more of a artistic statement.
Okay. Branding on everything they do, no matter how large the ship.
Let me see. Would it have that on the yeah, I think it would.
It's giant logo on the side. So everyone knows.
It's yeah, it is dominated by the Capstone logo, Capstone ISM.
Yeah.
But that logo, as well as a bunch of other moving images play across the whole hull, and like in intricate patterns, and occasionally, like even the that big logo will break up as it starts to emerge from another part of the surface of the ship.
Mhm.
It's sort of distracting. Like it
That's very cool.
yeah, and like the sequence of color and motion is seems like it's designed to keep on like bringing your attention back to it, even as you're like focusing on important things like landing.
Right. Engineered for maximum ad rating.
Yes.
Imagine
Um,
how efficient the ads got.
yeah, it's terrifying.
It's not.
Uh, yeah. Are you doing anything before just like you've gotten clearance? Are you doing anything before just pulling into the docking bay?
So do I? Since Capstone is a sort of like a newer player, would I know there anything other than like a big company that does a lot of different stuff?
Well,
Like, would I know that they have an agenda that they're pushing, like a lot of people do, and not think anything of it? Or would I go in there hesitant or cautionary?
Possibly. You could.
Is there a role for that?
Yeah, you could certainly search the mindscape for information about them.
Yeah. Oh, I want to do that. Search.
Yeah,
I want to
not-
say whatever she knows, I don't,
Okay.
because I am ignorant to this, and I want to.
You want to just not know. You just want to.
I kind of want to be naive.
Yeah.
And information on them, while there's information out there, it's definitely not a gimme, because they are very concerned about their reputation and
Sure. I mean,
So-
their branding is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
So
Do we,
on your character sheet under info moves, there's search the mind.
There's a question?
Just about the actual branding of Capstone. Do they like have more of like futuristic kind of vibe, or are they more like like we're just mom and pop's Capstone, or like what kind of what is their branding like?
Well, it's actually very wherever possible, it's very individualized. So if they're any time that they can gather any information on the individual who's looking at their stuff on it, like in the mindscape, or in a way that they can or looking at a representative who it'll be tailored to the values of the person viewing, when possible. I think the default when that isn't possible is sort of a sort of a again there's a sleekness to it, but it's just a bit more generified and upbeat. So
There's a base brand, and then they can apply whatever veneer is suitable to the people they're dealing with.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let's see that search the mindscape.
Yes. I was looking for the place where I would
Roll that. Oh, I'm
have that
sorry.
wrong.
Okay, so on your character sheet,
Because I remember seeing
the
it. but now I don't.
the third area down is info moves. It's the second info move.
It's on the
Oh,
right.
there it is. Yeah.
Yep.
I was thinking of a completely different game apparently, where it had like front of sheet and back of sheet, and on the back of the sheet there was. Anyways,
Yeah, it's hard to put
I like
anything
way
on
too
the
many
back.
games.
Yeah, it's hard to put anything on the back in Roll20.
Yeah. there's a button that switches on Mindscape, so I will Mindscape.
Nice.
I'll try to find the sheet for you later. Mindscape. Search for exploits then.
Search the
Because I'm trying to.
Mindscape under info moves.
Oh, info moves. Right. Sorry. Slightly above. Did it do it? It did it.
All right. Success.
Mhm.
You glean information.
Mhm.
Nothing horrible will happen.
Cool.
So, if you open the handout on Search the Mindscape, there's a list of.
Right. So this is where I pick the bad thing.
No, nothing
No,
bad
that's
happens.
not-
It's just you get one question rather than two.
Okay.
That's sort of the nice thing about information
Mhm.
moves is that
Hmm.
it's only if you actually full out miss that.
Something bad.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think the things that my people would care about most are, since they're negotiators, they want to know what they consider to be valuable. Wait, what entities consider blank to be valuable? That parsing is strange.
Yeah, it's if you're looking for information about like an object, that one is particularly good, and that you can find out
Oh, well, okay. So,
what
all right.
what entities consider that
Okay, that makes
object
sense
or
now.
phenomena or thing to be
Okay.
valuable.
All right. What is their relationship between? Let me just minimize all of my screens. This company and Labra, because why are they so close to it? And perhaps I can use that to my advantage. Like, what is?
I would love to know.
What
things.
is the relationship between Capstone? No, take your headphones off. Between Capstone and Atalasta. No, not Atalasta, like Labra, like specifically the planet. I don't like the person. You could say something else if I said the person, which would be sneaky. Careful.
You let me see. I think that the the relationship is like nascent and not yet truly established. I think there's been like some low level communication with like some interested parties on the surface, but there hasn't been
Is it secretive? Like, would I have found any? I know you don't have to answer. Like, you don't have to answer fully. That's one of the things that may not necessarily answer accurately. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, any information I give will be accurate to the best of my knowledge.
Sure.
I think that it's but the overall feel you're getting is not necessarily that hmm uh like they're not making a secret of their presence,
Mm-hmm.
whether or not they have like secret and dastardly plans,
Mm-hmm.
who knows?
Yeah.
You know, probably because they're an evil corporation, but
Mhm.
um, there's no
All
sign
corporations are evil, but mine is good.
Yeah.
I like hear about my people. They're delicious memories. So I'm not nearly as ominous as some of the other.
Oh well, we'll see. Yes, there is that.
Some others you might know in this.
Some other clone cults.
Yes. Yes, I don't have clones. I take information and people from all over the sector, including the clone cult.
Yeah.
Just cleaning my mouth.
Yeah,
The,
you guys
the
saw
Deep
these
is not
crumbs.
it's not a clone cult at all. Everybody is
No, we allow people to leave and go freely.
yeah, and everybody has their own personality shaped by common memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Individualistic memory banks.
Well, I don't know if I'd call the memories
I meant the
individualistic.
people. The people are memory banks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, within the context of that communalism of shared memory, it is within an individual matrix of personality.
And they leave and make memories and come back and pay me with them.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Uh,
So that's what they know. That's
yes.
their relationship together. Okay, so that's what I do on the approach.
Oh well, okay. I guess additionally, you do get the impression that there's that there is sort of some sort of like preparation going on, but not the specific nature.
Cool.
So as you step outside of your ship, there's a line of three people standing there waiting to receive you, and they are. It's interesting. They're all wearing sort of their outfits seem to mirror the utility and function of that's popular within that group that is Erethin. But with again slight touches of individual fashion applied in a way that is like strangely compelling. Like it's
like they're we're part of the same community. It's like we're not so different, pals.
Yeah. And like the specifics of those little individual touches are very compelling. It's like, oh, that is like the next step forward. That would be that little fold would be really cool and without interfering in function at all.
Yeah, like one of the collars is open a little bit, and there's like a different kind of print underneath it, like with the silks and suits. Yeah, I see what you're doing.
And the one in the center says, "Oh, So, what are the names of the two delegates?
Um, I think people will give themselves over. Well, most people don't give themselves over completely to the memory scape because individualism is kind of important for those on the edge of town and who leave and come back. I think they still have regular people names. Like, I'm like trying to think of things that aren't just 1950s TV show names.
Well, okay. They
I think when
yeah.
they're out, they're referred to as just Aerothin. They're both Aerothin because they are representing the needs and ideals of our collective. But when they are on planet, they are their own individual people, or when they're talking amongst themselves, they are their own individual. Like, but when they're out on a job, they are as close to the same person as they could be.
Okay.
They at least they present that way.
So the person in the middle says, uh, "Welcome to the uh, I guess it's just welcome to the freedom," and then they say their individual names rather than the collective Verithin.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we have been anticipating your arrival with pleasure.
It is fortuitous that we have found you, and are looking forward to accepting your assistance in this matter, and helping you if we can as repayment.
Well, yes, I believe we should be able to come to a mutually beneficial arrangement. Uh, However, let me, if I may, take you to Jacqueline, um, your account officer.
They both nod and wait to be led. The whole like after you motion, but like together.
Okay, and yeah, they
But slightly out of sync, so it's not like that creepy twin thing. They're like, just don't. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I was imagining it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both have little pinafores on, little blue little blue jumpers.
Yeah.
And so as you walk through the I'm saying hallways because I'm blanking on the term for hallways within a ship. I know that there is one that's
Hallways works fine.
And, oh god, my Star Trek knowledge is failing me, and now I'm trying to think of it too. I want to say a nacelle, but it's not a nacelle. Continue. I'm sorry.
It's the port nacelle. uh, like the outside, the inside is just like uh, yeah, every surface is like is a video surface, and like there's
Passageway.
Yes, uh, sure, that's better.
Sorry, I had to Google it.
I mean, possibly gangway. I don't know.
A gangway is getting on and off of a ship.
Okay.
We're already on the ship, so hallway works.
So yeah, like every surface is covered with constantly moving video images. so it has like sort of that Las Vegas effect where there's like all this stimulation and lumens coming in constantly, and it's like there's sort of this euphoric, unreal feeling, not unpleasant, but
Yeah, engineered to be pleasant.
yes, corridor.
Yeah, corridor works. Rainbows. There's rainbows everywhere. It's worked in.
Uh, and again, there as you walk through, there's it's sort of amazing that everyone you come across is wearing some variation of that utility but fashion forward jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Um, and you walk through not a large section of the ship, but enough that it seems like
Enough.
yeah. It seems like I mean, theoretically, it'd be possible for them to make sure that everybody you come across is has changed into.
But even that shows a lot of effort on their part to make us feel comfortable. Like even the knowledge of like if they knew that it was pandering, it's still like, oh well, they're trying. They're yeah. I think it strikes by people as like the first couple times like, oh, they're on job, and then it becomes a little weird because they have that uniform for when they leave. So it's like these people are all on a job together, and seeing such a large group together means something very important is going on, and that might make them feel a little concerned about what. But as it's like not a very open thing, that the capitalists might not realize that that's happening. Like they say, oh, when they leave, they have these jumpsuits, or when they do this job, they're dressed like this. So we want to make them more comfortable like this. And when we're on planet, yeah. But it's a little like when you drive through like those big swaths of suburbia. Like for the first while, like, oh, this is a nice neighborhood, and then after a while, it's like, oh, this is a little strange. Still nice. It's still everything it was when you started, but there's that underlying, like, situation.
Well, I certainly had a feeling like that at one of my old jobs in this part of Reston, Virginia. That was essentially it was somewhere between a open air mall and just like sort of a business corridor.
Like a business park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it had this this very planned feel that had that weird that intentional mall feel, but nice. Sort of.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Pleasant.
Yeah. It's like you go there to see your dentist, and then.
Yeah.
It's the far future, man. Not the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Jumpsuits are forever.
So finally, you're taken to Jacqueline, and she is like just getting up from her desk as you enter, and he says, "Oh, let me see if I can do this right." Oh, okay.
You give her a voice, right? Is that what you did last when you made her?
Yes. So she looks like she's like 12 years old. and there's a number of stuffed animals on her desk.
Uh-huh. I believe we labeled her the eternal corporate child
Yes.
last time we played.
And her attire actually isn't one of those utility suits. It's there's like some accents to it that like acknowledge utility, but it's it's as if you took one of those jumpsuits, merged it with like the outfit that Catelyn from the Hunger Games was wearing for the big presentation that was like on fire.
The big dress?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if you made a gown out of the basic aesthetic of the outfits that I'm wearing.
And it has like this, there's like this dreamlike aspect to it, like it's the cut sheet keeps shifting just slightly, and just the way the fake flames come off of it and like dance across the room is like it's almost like you're in a waking dream.
Like maybe there's straps that like there keeps like one time you look at it, there's one strap, but then there's three straps, and the three straps have like meshed together into like a sleeve or something. Yeah,
a dress you can't look at for too long.
Fractal dresses.
Yeah, it's a fractal dress.
Yeah,
it's the dreamscape dress, covered in dog faces.
And she says, Erethin, I'm so glad to meet you finally. Please, have a seat.
And they do. They nod and said, well, it's a pleasure to be here. A lovely surprise.
Oh?
Yes, to find someone so helpful, so close by when we need them.
Well, it would be disingenuous if I were to claim that that was completely a coincidence. It is the nature of my job and of the interest that I represent, that we anticipate the needs of others and are ready to assist.
What a tiring job that must be, but fulfilling.
Well, to aid others is its own reward.
Yes, we have heard that. I have to be careful because they have to be careful. Because we already talked about verbal agreements. But that's planet side, but who knows how this will play. So I think they sit down and say, if you'll please excuse us for seeming impatient. We have people planet side who are working on a bit of a shorter timeline than we would like. And they both sort of like chuckle and like look at each other at the same time and then look back. And like only one of them is speaking. They're not doing like the
trading off.
Yeah.
Finishing each other's sentences. None of that.
finish each other's sandwiches. Yeah, it's yeah, they are dealing with a shorter timeline. We'd like, and then they look at each other like, but also, it's taken us a while to get here, so we'd like to be as expedient as possible during our visit. Like, they're careful not to say like negotiation or business arrangement.
This entire situation has had to be super tough for Erethan because like she goes or they go right from dealing with Atalaska and
Yeah.
their nonsense to
Mhm.
going to capitalist
A
nonsense.
professional situation where
Mhm.
everything is, yeah.
It's like we're just gonna spend the entire day doing job interviews
Yeah,
and
like-
hopefully we'll get a job. Mhm.
They were loaded up with like all the past memories of dealing with you.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't like, these are completely new people. They weren't there for any of the other things, but they have those memories of not dealing with negotiating a
Mhm.
favorable outcome with a friend in the system.
Mhm.
Just like the stress.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I have to say, Mr. Wars, dog faces, not dog feces.
Oh.
Glass over, and I was like, wait, what is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and the dress definitely does prevent flipped acids.
Mm-hmm. It's a good dress,
Yes.
Brent.
Yes. So, yes, I don't think that this will take an undue amount of time. We can be ready if necessary to transport the terraforming devices. Yes, on rather short notice. And I think that we may be able to help you beyond that need as well.
Oh?
Yes. Over the last let's just say several local years, we have collected data on the process of terraforming from all over the Eschaton. Billions of individual projects, and thus have you could say some insights into how to best and most safely arrive at the precise results that you are seeking on your.
So, that translates to Erethan as, we also want to change how your planet terraforms itself. So I think that makes them a little more at ease. Like, oh, it's just another situation like this. Okay, sure. And even if that's not what that's what they hear. And they're like, yes, it is very interesting to hear everyone's opinions of how best to terraform things, and all ideas are taken under consideration. We would love to hear what ideas you might have.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they're like, "Huh?"
Yeah, I presumed too much. I merely wish to present um, uh, many options. Uh, you should, of course, uh, go with the path that works best for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as
But
we
I did
decide
want
together,
to,
yes.
yeah, I did want to make sure that uh, you were in fact interested in the data so that you can use it on your own term.
Hmm.
Um,
There's the con.
yeah, yeah, just here, sign up for this free CD club, and in another year, we'll come back with some new terraforming planned ideas. But if you don't cancel before then, it's 5 credits.
Hmm.
Um,
We just want you to do what's best for you, and also we just want you to know all of the facts, all of our facts.
all of our facts that we have that we would like you to use for
Mhm.
us and be part of us.
Mhm.
Just let us buy
Yeah.
you. um, I think they would say perhaps in the future we can talk about that, but as for now, we are only authorized to negotiate for the transportation of the ship and the terraforming machines. Terraform. Yeah, it would have to be something physically large. Yes, machines. Um, as we said, in the future, we would love to hear your ideas. Perhaps you could come visit. We are uh, an adventurous vacation destination for many in the system and beyond.
Oh, what a lovely invitation. Thank you. Yes, yes.
You sell me, I
I,
sell you.
I personally would love to visit, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that.
Absolutely not. We accept people of all kinds. They just both like grin at the same time. Yeah. So
Very well. So
perhaps
I
after we terraform a bit, you and your ship could organize a sort of convention there. We are looking to expand after our planet is gently guided to a more sustainable ecosystem, and would love to have you there. We are great hosts.
excellent,
So many layers of.
You cannot be Erethan and not have infinite layers.
I mean, technically, it's only city-sized population, but still, that's a lot of layers.
Excellent. I have to admit, I was somewhat concerned that you would merely uh, want the transport and wish to have no other communications. It's
Well, that would be incredibly rude of us. Unlike some of our neighbors, we welcome new friends in most situations. And then they sort of chuckle. It's like, you have to be careful these days.
yes, of course. Well,
Cut to a planet-sized ship floating in the middle of nowhere.
yeah. So, um, other than
So is there some, like, what are they trying to get out of this versus what I'm trying to get as little involvement with as possible? Like, I suggested perhaps after the terraforming they visit. Um, But I'm still like, if they want to come, then it's fine.
Yeah,
We are
think
not
they
a
were
closed
definitely
off
hearing,
planet as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think they were definitely hearing an invitation to come, and then after the terraforming is begun, then there could be like an official convention. But
yeah, and like an
in the
embassy, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but they could visit at literally any time, as long as it's within the regulations of the amount of people that can be on planet at the time, you know.
Okay. So, I'm not sure that I heard like the triggering of a specific move, but it was
It was all very polite conversation.
Yeah.
It's all very polite.
Uh. But maybe. I mean, you this if there's if by making the offer of
manufacture
this
consent.
Yeah, it could be that, and that you're definitely putting things in terms of things that they want, and like saying here here's the thing that you want.
Yeah, but the thing, like, I love it that the things I'm offering, like, oh well, why don't you? They're like, oh, you can do this, but like literally anybody else can do this. I'm just saying that they can do it as well, but there's nothing that was stopping them before from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's, yeah.
Okay. So I mean, they're gonna do the transportation regardless. That's I think that's just established in the fiction.
Yeah.
But if there's something that you want out of the situation, like in terms of that you need their consent for, or if there's
yeah, I don't think there is. I think it's there's nothing else that my people would know enough to get. Like if I had rolled better, if I knew their connections were stronger in certain areas for my initial Mindscape roll, I might trying to get more information from them. But since I just think they're just like, oh, a corporation, or yeah, I can't see that my people would know, especially not two of them. If they were like, I don't know, like 10, they might think a little more strongly. It's not that they're dumber alone, it's just that they're smarter together.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, do keep in mind that even those two do have access through the Mindscape to talk to, you know,
yeah,
anyone really, but
sure. They are part of Erethan. They have that. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's they can't think of anything they're willing to agree to negotiate further. I think they're good with you move this and then come visit, and we'll like put a convention center up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe there isn't a role here other than I mean, if there's a if there's a role that you want to make that you're trying to set up, here's your opportunity. But if not, then
yeah, there's nothing I can think of.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
All right.
Now we know that they're all polite and they're willing to help each other.
Yeah. Although there is a role that I would like you to make.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be. Let's see.
Is it a morale roll?
Sort of. It's a resist outside influence.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna so yeah, as the are you doing anything to prevent the memories of your
from being drained?
Well, from being propagated to everybody, or is that you just do as normally? Their information is their memories are like added to the general pool.
Am I doing anything? I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
Oh, okay. So are you doing anything to prevent the memories of these representatives from propagating to the
Oh,
general
right, right,
pool of
right.
memory?
I think it's they don't like that. Well, they can be accessed from a distance. They have to come back to planet to get like a full in-depth sensory experience to make sure that the data is not corrupted on the way there. And then the memories deemed important are sorted out. Like, and I think like the closer, I always thought of it as the closer in original memory length, like people who have like the same set, it's easier for them to transfer than people who are like on a completely different job, even if they're like far away. Distance doesn't matter. It's the like data set that each person is. Yeah, so when they come back to my planet, it will definitely be filtered into like the social like pool of information. But like there's a filter on it to prevent anything like corruptive ideals.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah. So that definitely sounds like
Like it's not
you have.
completely open. It's not
Okay.
complete at like that instant. It doesn't. But there is a. If stressed, they could
Okay.
share it, depending on how close they were. Yeah, it's.
So that definitely sounds like a unit you have that is in charge of this filtering process. Um, so that in game terms would
Are they trying to get subliminal messaging down past me?
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's
I don't
everywhere.
even know why I asked. It's, yeah. Yeah, so there is there's a block for that. So if they're trying to get something through, there is something they have to go against.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
no. So I'm gonna
I'm
need
resisting
you to.
outside influence.
Yes. So and before you make that roll,
Mhm.
I'm gonna need you to uh, uh, buy the or conveniently acquire the unit that does this filtering.
Okay.
Um, I
Is that
think in
convenient
the rules
acquisition?
document there it should be listed as establishment media, even though I'm sure that even though I'm sure uh, her culture would call them something different. Okay. Second, that's eggs. Okay. Yeah, I just didn't copy this over to the Roll20. Um,
Okay.
um, so that unit only costs is 2 woofy.
Okay.
So it should be a pretty easy roll to.
Okay, so it's convenient acquisition,
Yes.
right? Okay. Cost of asset is 2. Did I do it? Ugh.
Sort of. You mostly did it.
I mostly did it.
Um,
Well, I think my problem is I have that main organization that would filter it through, but I also have like the fax guys who would like, hey, you just come back. Hey, why don't you come over to our building? And
yeah, we want to look at that information also.
yeah. I think that's what it like they pull off they pull the same thing and they're not as scrupulous. They put it in their project.
So
Or do you want it in the whole of it?
okay. Well, Okay, so this role in particular is just for
All right, just to get
having
the
the
thing.
for
Sorry.
establishing that filtering group themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have a choice of you have to choose two things from the 7 to 9 list of convenient acquisition. Uh, that the unit is faulty in some way. It comes with
Mm-hmm.
strings attached. Someone is spying on you through them. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
or your Woofy and Fortune are reduced by 1 to the end of the session. And again, you do have to choose two of these options.
Mm-hmm.
But you can choose the Woofy and Fortune thing twice if you want.
We have a longer session this time. Okay.
Right near the beginning too.
This was happened last time, and I suffered for it. I'm gonna suffer for this session and hope that it doesn't hurt me too much. Yeah, I'm gonna choose that twice.
Okay.
That's important.
Yeah, because my whole thing is about protective services. I mean, making is that guarantee of your memories. That's why I didn't get that other thing before, like faulty memory stuff. I can't
afford it.
Yeah, I can't afford
I
it
want to get
morally.
corrupted. No.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. I can't allow that. That will not happen. So Wolfie and Fortune are both lowered by 2.
Yeah, and be sure to mark those on the character sheet, and I'll.
Oh, they're so low. I'm so poor.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's still the decision, the only decision you can make, though. Really.
Yeah, it's the only one that fits with my what I've done before and my people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this campaign, you all have
I'm overprotective.
Options that have put you at a much lower woofy than I've played with before. Like the session before, someone was playing the committee chair that starts at 8 woofy.
That's so much.
I know.
Everything's so rich. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I just chose overprotective, so I can't.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Right. I did it.
Okay.
So now I have a memory filtration.
Memory filtration media. In game terms they're called establishment media, but call them what? Or actually, let's look at them a little bit. So under units, there's that whole unit traits thing. You want to pick a trait for if you want to name this group of people and pick a trait for them.
So the traits are just that paragraph of words?
Yeah, esprit de corps, grizzled, irregular, belligerent.
So I think they are. Well, acquisitive makes sense. Yeah.
I have another suggestion that I find interesting. Misanthropic. Take it or leave it, as you prefer.
The more I think about it, the more I do like that. Yeah. I was also thinking collective is like they're their own unit, but I like.
Wait, is this a thing where we go around the table and we all assign one, or? Okay, then I
Oh,
assign
well-
misanthropic.
Okay, well that solves that. Okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Yeah. So I think they are. Well, they're misanthropic. I think they're irregular. I think they can't share memories as easily. Like there's something about the people who work in the filter. It's like that Robin Williams movie where he edited people's memories of their lives together, but couldn't have a memory thing himself. Like they can still like experience short-term things, but they can't like load and upload and download it. Like they can't refresh as well,
Mm-hmm.
which means they're better at keeping things secure. Like the things that they filter, the things that they see, like part of their brain that would have like be able to change a lot is made for filtering things out.
Mm-hmm.
That's their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're irregular.
Mm-hmm. I picked misanthropic because the reason I thought that was interesting was that they see how much data is being corrupted,
Mm-hmm.
how many memories are being corrupted or taken to mean different things by different people, that
Yeah.
they're like, this happens all the time, and like
Yeah.
they develop.
And also
kind of
they
a
see that
complex.
like they see the same memories over and over again. It's like they go
Mhm.
out,
Yeah.
they eat at the same place, they do the same thing. It's like filtering
Mhm.
through junk mail all the time.
Mhm.
But you know that
Mhm.
in that junk mail there's like one line that you need and you have to go through it, so it just wears on them.
Mhm.
Well, one, I'm shocked to learn that there's a Robin Williams movie that I've not seen. How did this happen? The Final Cut, apparently. I thought I'd seen them
Yeah.
all. And I guess because these seem like more like the audience than artist, I'm going to go with uncreative because they're sort of, observers
Yeah.
rather than doers.
Nice. With that misanthropic really puts them in like fine definition.
Yeah. It's not that they could like not just they don't like all hate all humans, is that there's a tiredness and a
Mhm.
certain level of like bored disdain. Like, ugh, these guys again. Yeah.
I mean, they've literally got memories of having seen it all already,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Well, yeah. I think what I'm gonna do, if it's okay with you all, is to underline that general feeling by adding jaded.
Yeah, that works.
Mhm.
But
like that.
since that's also reflecting what you're talking about with they've seen it before in adding jaded, I'm gonna sort of reinsert that misanthropic may have teeth. Like there's a little bit of or part of that jaded is a bit of a resentment beneath the surface for the rest of society that they are protecting.
Okay. Could
Um,
they be part of the reason why there's a new faction growing that's just facts?
maybe.
Who knows? Who can say?
Yeah.
Not even scientists. Well, scientists do know this time.
Mhm.
So,
Is it because there must be people to sort through the subjective memories? That's like a sign that we should convert to facts because facts are objective and don't need extra energy to sort out.
Yeah.
cool.
Thank you.
So, now that we've oh, and what are they called?
Hold on.
You can come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Okay.
My first instinct was maybe just to think the filter.
Yeah.
Sensory sensor division.
I think they are. I'm searching deep sea filterfish to see if I can't because my whole thing is based on the deep sea life
Nice.
with my planet being the isopod. And,
Aline? Like the
I think they're
the
gill
stuff that-
rakers.
Okay.
Is that Gil Rakers?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. That's a
Like-
sexy name. I love it.
They make sure the experiences of people who leave and come back are able to be transferred. Like it makes the transition easier, like the job they do.
Okay. So, let's see how good a job they do.
Oh no, it's more rolls.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. If you could roll resist outside influence.
Okay. I did it. I won, right? That's what. Hold on, let me scroll over to. Oh gosh.
Well, it's a hit. You succeeded. But choose one.
I don't want to. Oh Lord.
Oh.
Hold on, let me.
Got
Scroll
plenty
down
of
to-
morale.
Yeah. I don't have the screen open. It's gonna take me.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Like you said, choose one. I'm like, okay, and I have to like
Oh yeah, open it and
move tabs. I'm on a laptop and yeah. Moves.
Oh, okay. So
This is
the
outside
options
influence, I got
are advanced
I
relevant.
got-
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you can read it off for the customers.
Sure. So the options are the MC advances a relevant clock, start or advance a 2 clock that results in the MC adding or removing an organizational descriptor, or your organization loses a morale.
Forever and ever?
Until you successfully restructure it so that you can get it back.
So that's what happens when you lose all of your morale. You have to restructure.
No.
You restructure as like a.
Hopefully
as like a-
before you lose all your morale, so that you don't go into
Okay.
schism.
So it's like healing or recovering HP or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Cool.
lose 1 morale.
Okay.
Like the extra work these people have to do, like that kind of filters out. And the people who are
That
like
makes sense.
standing in the corner, like, "Hey, we got nothing but facts over here. We're gonna have to deal with that." So, like, I'm in a big trench coat. It's just data points. All right.
Yeah, I think that there's so much like very carefully encoded stuff that it's really exhausting editing it all out.
Yeah.
But you do.
Do it. My morale's a 6. So low.
Oh no, it's not bad at all.
All right.
Fine. Okay, so let's see. Alaska, and is there? Let me see. Is there anything that else that happens before you go to? Yeah. We should have a whole. I think that we on Isopod we see a short scene of like there's a lab space that that has an open area attached to it outside where um, some of that native fauna that has been that is in the process of uplift
Mm-hmm.
gets to like experience outside without being left to go wherever.
Yeah.
Um, and this is at night, uh, and what we see is oh yeah. What does the what do these creatures look like that that you're uplifting to sentience?
I think
Tell us about them.
there's lots of different creatures on our planet that are dangerous and terrible. I think it was just Mocha. It was, what was the project name? Uplift a new animal species. Okay. Um, they are a surprisingly like docile looking. Like they have kind of like longer legs. Imagine if you took a lemur and a
Mm-hmm.
dik and you pushed them together. So they got like
Okay.
very long. They're like this big. They have big eyes and big ears, and they have really long, like straight legs, but kind of like with 3 extra elbows. I'll draw you a picture after the game. But
Okay. Yeah, I don't actually have a. I only have a vague mental picture of a dik.
They are adorable, and I love them, and they are the best.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. You just Google them.
Yes.
Yeah, they're so good.
It's so sweet.
I know. Like they're like that, except their eyes are a little bigger, and they have like a ring of yellow around them, and their ears are kind of flicking off to the side.
Yeah, sort of like uh,
And
deers
little horns.
on additional cuteness steroids.
Yeah. If you took a deer and then turned the cuteness up, the body would just get little and this big. Yeah. And on their, they're sort of like bouncing around like goats and like getting on little stones, and there's like netting over top of it. But the netting itself is electrified because these creatures, like a little bug, like kind of gets in, and like one of them like looks at it, and then this little like dart goes out and like sucks it back in, not like a tongue, but like a bone shard, and just like pulls it back in like a javelin spear, but very tiny and adorable. And then it like stands up a little bit, and its hooves like bend too much, and on the bottom of its hooves, it kind of like they're like knuckles and not hooves, and they unfurl into these like little like not quite clawed, but like little suction, and they're like just shoving its wings into its mouth as they stand there, and then they kind of get back down, and they like hop along like goats again.
Nice.
It's yeah.
Oh,
Does that work?
That's cool.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because we tried to pick something that was could be uplifted enough to like stand on its own and like wear clothes, so people who see them in the universe would feel more comfortable, but also cute, but also able to protect themselves. But they are, yeah. And I think like as that happens, like it replays in the video again, and when the scientist goes, and like rubs the back of their neck where there's like this like mass of like still healing necrotized flesh that they got hit with, it's not a good time. They're not they're bad. They're just, but they look adorable, which is how they're like one of their safety mechanisms.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna call them
so
lemur
cool.
slash dictics with knuckle hooves.
Too many
And-
elbows.
Can they be called squeeze?
I think that's what they were originally called.
Oh yeah.
And now
They
it's the joke, like,
evolved from-
that's the sound you make when they hit you, and a swarm of them come down on you.
Mm-hmm.
with bone protrusions.
Yeah, with javelin, like harpoon style. This is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dart tongues is what I was.
Yeah. I'll get you like those explorers that used to go out and like draw animals and like do a close up of the hoof, and I'll get you one of those by
Awesome.
next week.
Anyway, so we see a few of them in the enclosure making cute little sounds to each other.
Little
like-
chirp noises.
Yeah,
Like
but,
a low purring.
yeah, but accentuated. It's like almost language.
Mm-hmm.
Not there yet, but almost.
They can't say like P. They have a speech impediment no matter how hard we try. Yeah. I don't know, it's like give them lips and those like crossed out like, ugh, no.
Strong. And we see a couple of couple more of them emerge from the nearby forest and approach the enclosure, and there's like a brief they like briefly chirp at each other, and then the outside ones sneak off.
Yeah, and that's being recorded as well, like that.
Sure. Okay, so do I want to make a note about that, or
You making a clock on me?
okay? Yeah, I think there's a clock here.
Okay.
I'm not. I haven't decided where it's going.
To be named later.
Yeah. But I think it's like a long clock. 6 o'clock. So did we settle on a name for them?
They're squee squee.
Squee? Okay.
Like imagine the technique, except it's got like bigger, slightly rounder ears too. Yeah.
Squee uprising for now.
Yeah, and like one of them like goes over to like one of the younger ones, and they like uncurl their hoofs, and like these little points like flare out and like little suction cups, and they like touch the fence, and it shocks them a little bit, and they hop away. Like they were gonna try to climb up it. They're the perfect predator.
So cute. You never see those tongues coming.
Yeah, people are like, I wouldn't mind if they killed me and my family.
What a way to go.
That's an easy thing to say.
So
I also just saw that the dictics have like that little extra dark circle. I think there's like another pair of eyes there that let them see during the day because their big eyes are too sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for fun.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
So we've kind of lavished some attention on this, but hopefully entertainingly. Let's take a short break, and then we'll pick back up with Atalaska and See what's going on.
I
Over
have
Labra.
a thing. My bond with Quasi is that we have a former relationship. In our next scene, could we explore that so that we get XP?
Well, I was
Awesome.
actually going to ding you as soon as I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was going to be like the awkward, oh, we've not spoken since, and oh, how do I, what?
So we should
well,
get coffee sometime on this other planet you wrecked.
I
That has
just
great coffee.
finished a 3-week-long session of business dealings. I could use some socialization.
Awesome.
10 years.
Every 10 years.
Yeah.
So cool. I'm excited to see that play out.
hmm
So we will get to that shortly. Please, round.
Nice.